How's it going, everyone? It's Ryder here, and welcome back to another episode of Which One Will Make the Cut. Anyone else just love traffic and road rage? Well, you're in luck, because today we'll be talking about two notoriously known tracks from Mario Kart Double Dash that demonstrate this right on. Those two in question are Mushroom Bridge and Mushroom City. Before we do begin the discussion, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We just reached 3K subs, and our next big goal is 5K. With all that out of the way, let's revisit these stages and get blown up. Now, since this episode is sorta similar to the Dino Down Jungle vs DK Mountain one, I will not need to discuss other track candidates. I'll explain more as time goes on with why I don't need to. However, I will need to discuss why these two are being talked about in the community. So let's get right to it. With waves 1 through 4 of the Booster Course Pass being already out, according to the prefix leak, there are only 3 GCN tracks left. I'm still not fully sure if the Wii track and the Acorn Cup will be replaced with a GCN track due to the fact Maple Treeway came a year earlier and took over what was supposed to be a GCN track, but my guess is that there might be a GCN course there. However, if there isn't, this still doesn't ruin my thoughts or anything for this video. I think it's safe to assume one of the mushroom tracks from the GCN era will make it in, along with one of the jungle tracks. Make sure to check out that episode as well. Why do I think that, you might be asking? Well, all Booster Course Pass track models come from Mario Kart Tour, and because of that, both of the jungle tracks are already in the game. When it comes to the mushroom tracks, neither are actually in it. However, they are due to definitely be coming sooner than later, since the tracks are data mined. But the problem is, we don't know which one is data mined, or if it's both. In this video, I will try to answer that the best I can with other known info we have. The first track we will discuss is Mushroom Bridge. Mushroom Bridge is a stage set in a city-like look with, of course, a huge bridge you can drive on, a few tunnels you can go through, and traverse through many car obstacles that stand in your path. The music for this course fits super well, making it feel like you're in a ton of traffic. This soundtrack is also used on Mushroom City as well. Mushroom Bridge has only been remade once, which was in Mario Kart DS, and didn't receive quite a lot of positive feedback. The bigger difference between the GCN and DS versions is Mario Kart DS removed the iconic shortcut towards the end of the stage where you can drive on the literal railings of the bridge. Now, for us Mario Kart DS fans, we know Nintendo butchered a lot of the GCN courses when it comes to remakes in that game. I think what makes this track stand out a lot for me personally is the final mission of Mario Kart DS's mission mode, where you can race against a giant Wiggler, and you all know how much I adore Wiggler. Our other track candidate is Mushroom City. Mushroom City is basically what the title implies, a city filled with Mario theming galore. You start just by the edge of the main city area, to which you then go inside the main city where there are cars and other obstacles around every corner. And in the final section, you start rising above the main city area while trying to avoid vehicles blocking your path to the finish line. This course is very exhilarating and also gives me the same feelings as Moonville Highway, which is a very similar course with tons of vehicles moving fast around tight corners. And I do love this feeling, of course. It gives me this weird anxiety that I can't explain, and of course it's not the bad kind of anxiety either. This track has unfortunately never been remade before in any Mario Kart after its original debut, which is so disappointing because it is a really amazing track. Other than what I discussed here with Mushroom City, there isn't a ton more to talk about with it, especially since it hasn't been remade in any future Mario Kart installment. Now we are here to try and solve the mystery on which of these two will make the cut. There's quite a few thoughts I've got on this topic, so I may be a bit all over the place when explaining. Personally, I think the more likely option between these two is Mushroom Bridge. However, I do think Mushroom City is for sure not out of the question, but I'll discuss my thoughts on Mushroom Bridge first since I do have a lot more to say on it. The main reason I think this track will be chosen over Mushroom City is the theme. Now, I know I did say City and Bridge have very similar looks, but Mushroom City, if added, would feel way too similar to Mario Kart Tour City courses, which Mario Kart 8 Deluxe already gives love to within the Booster Course Pass. My second reason for going to Mushroom Bridge is a little bit more interesting and harder to explain, but I'll try my best. Due to the prefix leak showing off a GCN placement for Wave 3, and most likely was supposed to be meant for Waluigi Stadium, which debuted in Wave 4, what GCN track do you think would have been in Wave 4 instead of Stadium? I personally thought it was going to be Mushroom Bridge, however that didn't end up being the case in the end. So if the leak is still sort of true and we do end up getting another 3 GCN tracks in these final 2 waves, then I think Mushroom Bridge was moved from Wave 4 to Wave 5, just like how Waluigi Stadium was moved from Wave 3 to Wave 4. However, there is always that potential chance that this may never have been the case, and the prefix leak was just incorrect on a few things. Which then leads me on to Mushroom City, still having a slight shot. Just like how I mentioned in a previous episode, some tracks used in the Booster Course Pass keep the same placements from when those tracks had specifically been placed in their last game. This could potentially be said for Mushroom City as well, since if a GCN track is planned for the Acorn Cup instead of a Wii track, it would be in the second slot of the cup according to the prefix leak. This track could also fit in the Spiny Cup as well, since a GCN track is planned to be the second too. But then again, the prefix leak has been a little janky ever since Wave 3 released, so I won't be going by this rule as a full-on fact, but just rather a thought I wanted to mention. A trend I have noticed with tracks in the Booster Course Pass and the base game of 8 Deluxe is Nintendo has been giving the GCN tracks a ton of love that were last remade from Mario Kart DS, basically giving them a ton of polishes and fixes. With Mushroom Bridge being the last of the GCN tracks not seeing the light of day after Mario Kart DS, I think this also helps its case with making its possible return in Wave 5. One thing I bet that Nintendo would add back into Mushroom Bridge is fixing it up from Mario Kart DS's version to add that shortcut back into it. And I think that'd be really cool if they put, like, anti-gravity spinning things on there as well, like on the actual railings. I know that may not work, but if they kind of widen out the little railings for a little bit, then I think that it could really look really cool. And I feel like with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's physics, it wouldn't work without the anti-gravity, right? Now, if Wave 5 releases and Mushroom Bridge is not there, I think it could be more likely that Mushroom City will show up in Wave 6 rather than Mushroom Bridge, since I feel like that kind of fits more of an ending towards the Cups situation rather than Mushroom Bridge. Or if Wave 5 releases with Mushroom Bridge, I highly doubt Mushroom City will be added. I guess it just matters on when Mario Kart adds one of these tracks into its game, because when one of them gets added, I think that's probably going to be the most likely one they choose. In the end, I think the more likely choice is going to be Mushroom Bridge. And that concludes today's episode of Which One Will Make the Cut. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and let me know down below which track you think will make it to the Booster Course Pass. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to help support the channel. Every bit of support that you all can give I am very grateful for. Quick shoutouts to the current members of the channel. For our regular clan, we have Willow Games and the K Fett, and for our Frenzy Legends members, we have KChads575 and Starlord Turnbull. Thank you for your continued amount of support towards the channel. It means a ton to me. If you'd like to become a member, consider becoming one using the link in the description below, or click the join button. I'm not sure how many more episodes there are for this series, but if you would like to leave some comments down below of your ideas, I would be greatly appreciated. I've made quite a lot of episodes for this mini-series, and I'm really happy with how well it's turned out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace out, stay safe, and goodbye.